Hi, my name is Steve Fossen. I'm the original bass player and co-founder of Heart. You guys remember Heart, right? Barracuda, Magic Man, Crazy on You. Yeah. I have a new band called Heart by Heart, and we play music of Heart also. And you're listening to We Go to 11.
Why don't you just make 10 louder and make 10 be the top number and make that a little louder? These go to 11.
Time. So, I had a chance to speak with you a few years back. I think it might have been during the pandemic for a website. And at that point, we had a good conversation about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and you getting inducted and all that business. But this go round, I mean, the one thing I mentioned to you is that I wanted to make sure I caught the band, and after seeing a lot of clips, and then you guys there was clips that surfaced from you guys on that Kiss cruise even.
Yeah.
That I was like, I can't wait to see these guys. And now you guys are performing less than 10 minutes from my house. So there's no excuse for not being there on the 17th of May to see Heart by Heart. So,
where's that gate? Where's
that's the one in the Dalles, Oregon.
Oh, cool. Yeah, we're looking forward to that.
Yeah, so we got that coming up. So if you could give us a little bit of background as far as how long, or when the formation of the band happened and what inspired it.
Well, I met Somar in February of 2008. Mike and Roger and I were doing a private party downtown, and we were asked to do some Heart songs, and we agreed, and the singer that was chosen was Somar. So that's when I met her, and when we got together with her, I found her to be a charming lady and a good singer, and she had a lot of very positive attributes. And then over the course of the rest of the year, the spring, summer, fall, and winter, we became really good friends. And by the end of 2008, we became an item.
There you go.
So then she would be getting ready for work, and I'd be playing my bass, and she'd be singing along. And so we created this bass and vocal duo. And we got hired to play like bistros and jam nights, and got invited to play dinner parties and all that kind of stuff. And we searched for a name, and we wanted Heart to be in the name. And since it was the two of us, it was Heart by Heart. And one thing led to another, and we got a call from a guy in Alaska, Anchorage, Alaska, who wanted us to open up for Dwight Yoakam.
Oh, wow.
In Anchorage, and we agreed. But then we thought, well, maybe a duo is a little light to open up for Dwight.
Right.
So we asked Mike DeRosier and Randy Hansen to join us for the show, and they both agreed. So we put together a set of material, and we were all set to go, and Dwight canceled the show.
Oh, no. Oh, man.
Yeah, that was kind of weird. But, we had a group. So we kind of, we didn't practice a lot, but we got together every once in a while. And then later on that year, a good friend of ours was having a benefit for Susan G. Komen, cancer awareness. And so we decided to play for that. And that was our very first gig ever. And, we raised quite a bit of money, and some people saw us, and they turned us on to some booking agents. The booking agents liked us. And so we started getting booked around Washington State at, fairs and festivals and casinos and stuff like that. And, of course, we made a website, and the website got us in touch with people all around America, all around the world, basically.
Right.
But especially in America. So we had booking agents on the East Coast that got, said, hey, you and Mike are playing together. Why don't you guys come out here and do a show? So, and then one thing led to another. Now we play all over the place.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I've seen, people that probably aren't aware, and I don't know if this bugs you at all, but I know one of the things that I've seen, it's like, hey, that's a pretty cool spot on tribute band. And it's like, I don't think you guys know who's in the, I don't know. I mean, how do you take those comments? Because I mean, you're not a tribute band. I mean, you guys created those songs.
Yes, that's true. And we try to impart that information in our, in our publicity and our photographs and all that kind of stuff. But a lot of, people, some people get it, some people don't. And,
Right.
We're not a tribute band, but what else do we call ourselves? I mean, technically we could be called a spin-off band, but
Right.
that's more common in TV shows rather than
Right.
the band, rock and roll atmosphere. So
Mm-hmm.
we have to kind of go with the language that's people understand. And, and what people really get technical, they say, well, Mike and I were a tribute to ourselves.
Right. Well, it is a tribute to the music,
That's for
and
sure,
and
yes.
I think the thing that you guys have going for yourselves is you're digging deeper and playing material that isn't being played now.
Yeah. But we do concentrate on the hits. I mean,
Mhm.
Mike and I, we get statements from the record companies and Sound Exchange and all that kind of stuff. So we know what songs are the most popular and
Right.
most downloaded and the most sought after tune, the most airplay too. So of course you can't play a set without Magic Man, Barracuda,
Right.
Crazy, Dreamboat Annie.
Yeah.
So we try to hit all the favorites, but we throw in, some deeper cuts too.
Like, what's your favorite deeper cut to perform? And was it also, I guess, when you guys revisited it, was it also hard to kind of get reacquainted with it?
Well, not really. It's a little bit like riding a bicycle, but with every song you have to get reacquainted with it. Even a song like Barracuda, you hear quite a bit on TV commercials.
Yeah. Yeah. It's on a Kia commercial, I think, right?
Yeah,
That's,
yeah.
That's pretty cool to hear that.
Or is it Hyundai? I can't remember which.
Oh, it could be Hyundai. Yeah, you're right. It is Hyundai.
And it was played during the NFL the division playoffs, and
Right.
some people said they saw it during the Super Bowl on the East Coast too.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right. Yeah. No, I mean, that's great. And it must be a trip to kind of go, hey, I was part of that, right? And you're watching it on TV. So,
it is.
So you were talking about, not really having to get reacquainted with some of the deeper tunes because it was like riding a bicycle. So,
but well, it's like every tune. You have to go back and you have to listen to it. And then I personally, and Somar too, I mean, I'm sure Mike and Lizzy and Chad do it too. They listen to the tunes every once in a while to make sure they haven't strayed, because it's easy to do one little thing different, and then that little different thing turns into another different thing, and pretty soon you're off track. So we really try to rope it on back and play it like it's supposed to be played. Because unless you play it like the way people remember it, you don't create that memory, that nostalgia, the picture images in your mind of when you first heard that, or
right.
what you were doing when, there's something special when you heard it on the radio or had it on your turntable or whatever.
Right. Right. Yeah. And it is interesting because, I think when people, some musicians kind of jam out a song and, I've heard people say, oh, we do a different version of it from night to night. But that kind of really makes a difference in how people perceive, the performance.
Yeah, it's kind of disrespectful to your audience in a way because they didn't come there to see you reimagine songs.
Right.
I mean, if you want to reimagine some songs, release a new album with all the reimagined songs,
Yeah.
And if people like it, then they'll come and see it. But don't say, I'm so-and-so and our hits are this and this and that. And then you play it and it's almost unrecognizable. That's almost a disservice to the audience. I've been to concerts where you have to listen for a little while and go, oh, that's that song. I didn't even realize that.
Right. And I was going to ask you, a favorite song to perform, and has
Oh.
it gotten old? You know, like, do you have to get yourself worked up to perform it? And then do you go through waves where you're like, okay, this one's kind of not my favorite, this one is now my favorite, or, you know, maybe there's a particular song that's maybe, you know, you need to be a little bit more motivated to play it over and over, being that you guys, you know, do the hits constantly.
Well, I mean, being a musician is you can't like favor one song over another. You have to approach them all as you know, you have this an excellence built into your being, and you want to be excellent on every tune that you play. And you want to, and our motto is we want to, the next concert we do is going to be better than the concert we just did.
Mm.
So
Right.
that's, you know, we always try to outdo ourselves. But for me personally, I do have a special song, and that's the very first song that I recorded for Dreamboat Annie. Very first song I ever heard myself play on the radio.
Oh.
And so that's Magic Man, of course.
Yeah. Yeah.
I that's a very special song for me, and and I like the words,
Sure.
and it makes a lot of-
Does that like give you chills when you hear it even now on the radio?
Yeah, but what I do, as being a musician, you're always analyzing. I mean, it's kind of, sometimes it's tough to enjoy music because you're you're putting your thinking cap on, and they're modulating there, and and they're whatever.
Right.
And so, but I whenever I hear a heart song, when I'm out, on the radio or in a grocery store, an elevator, or whatever, I listen to it to judge whether I'm still playing it the way it's supposed to be played.
Nice. Have you guys ever considered recutting some of the classic tunes? And
Yeah, we have a whole CD.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah.
I have to go
It's
back and
available
check
on
that out.
iTunes.
Oh, it's on iTunes. Okay.
Yes.
I'll have to look it up. So, is that something that you guys, I guess, had to convince yourselves to do? Because sometimes people are kind of like, yeah, we don't want to touch the classics because, like you were just saying, people remember them a certain way, although you guys are pretty faithful to the originals.
Yeah, well, the thing of it is with us, we had kind of we had a bit of a hill to climb because, Ann and Nancy were still out there. And people, they're real skeptic about the vocals, and they want to make sure that the vocalist can catch up and match what they're expecting. So we did that as a promo device to send to potential buyers for our shows and all that kind of stuff. And it works, and people love to buy it at our shows, and then we of course we autograph them and everything.
Oh, you have physical copies?
Yes.
Ooh.
We have CDs.
Yeah.
You
See, I'm a
CDs
CD geek. I'm a CD geek, so
Oh, well,
that's
yeah,
my thing.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I like to have, I either like to have it on my computer or in a CD, some form. Having it in the cloud doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
Right. Right.
And when you go, I'm not really familiar with how those things work, but I just know that they choose. You start playing some songs, and then they choose some other songs they think you might like too. It's
Right.
like, you didn't want to hear that.
Yeah. Yeah. If you like this, you might like that.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, that's nice. What about original material?
Yeah, we have some. We do some writing, and we have
Okay.
that we work with, and we have some stuff that we had recorded, but we don't do that live because we just don't think people would appreciate that at this point.
Where is that material? Is that going in the vaults or something?
So I have some on my computer.
Oh, I mean, but it's not meant for release. Is that right?
Not yet, no.
Not yet. But the plan is to put that
Well,
out there.
you know, it's it. We have some members that are not quite convinced that they want to go that route,
Ah,
and we can't drag them along.
now, is that because it's too close to the classic sound of Heart, or is it, or what would you say, or can you say?
Well, I just think that they think, well, this isn't going to be as popular as Heart, so I don't even want to bother.
Oh, I hear you.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, I guess people have their opinions, right? They're
Yeah,
entitled to them. Yeah,
But, doing your own music can be very gratifying.
sure.
We have a lot of fun doing it, and we'll work on it.
Yeah, nice. So, yeah, I mean, I would like to hear it. Now I have to, hopefully you guys are going to bring some CDs. I mean, it'd be nice to see some CDs in the merch table for that gig on the 17th.
Let me think.
Well, I'll be there. I'm going to buy one for sure. So,
So you live in Oregon then?
yeah, I'm in Oregon. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like I said, about 10 minutes from the Dalles, so I'm up the hill. And I could slide down the hill and make it to your gig. So I mean, there's no excuse not to make it. Plus I have
Yeah.
tickets, so there you go.
Yeah. So when I used to every once in a while I'd go to Skamania.
Oh, nice.
And
Right.
so I got to know the area pretty well, the Beacon Rock and the
Oh yeah.
Bridge of the Gods and, all that kind of stuff.
Have you
And-
been to the Stonehenge out in Washington, right across from the Dalles?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Huh, see, you're really familiar with the area. So
Yeah.
yeah, nice. Well, yeah, we look forward to seeing you guys. Like I said, it was one of those things where it's like, I have no excuse not to go. I got to check you guys out. I've been wanting to see the band for a while, and now I'm going to do it. So there you go.
Yeah. I'm just talking. Do you know Chuck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm just expecting a call from Chuck. We're arranging the, we have a visual
Oh,
we hook up
yeah.
to, that we project when we play.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
So I think we need to get a longer HDMI cord.
Oh, right. Nice.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
they do a pretty good job projecting some of that, some of the, visual stuff. So
Yeah.
it's a fun place to perform, and people are really appreciative of all the acts that make it out that way. So it'll be a good night.
Yeah. We have, we have historic pictures of Heart. We have historic pictures of Heart by Heart. And we have, a bunch of collection of our logos. And then Lizzy, she put together a couple of films for a couple of the songs.
Oh, nice.
Go on.
Well,
So yeah, so
nice.
it's really interesting, and of course Magic Man is one of them.
Yeah, there you go. It's the hits and some deeper tunes.
Yeah.
So
And so another thing I wanted to say was so Heart by Heart is built from the ground up, meaning that Mike DeRosier and I, who were the rhythm section of Heart,
Right.
we're the rhythm section of Heart by Heart. So we're the solid bottom and low end and the foundation.
right. Yeah.
And then we have Chad and Lizzy on all the other instruments, and they have both attended the Berklee School of Music on the East Coast. And then we have Somar, our lead singer, who has been singing since she was, toddler, just about. Her dad
Right.
had her, when she was really young. So, and she's the youngest. So,
Mhm.
and the version of Heart that's out there now, it's just
Right.
the opposite. You have the old
Oh,
school,
yeah.
Joanne and Nancy, then
Right.
here, and then it goes down.
Mhm. Right.
So I don't
Right.
know. I don't know what,
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that that they love Heart and they love Anna Nancy, but there's a lot of people that also love Heart by Heart.
Right. No, it'll be good. It gives people some options. You guys can duke it out song by song, right? Song for song.
Well,
So,
I would do it.
no, that'd be great. Yeah, that's why I'm looking forward to seeing this, because I've seen some clips and it's like, wow, if they're good on a crappy cell phone, clip, they got to be nailing it live. You know, there's something about seeing a band live.
Yeah, and we encourage the sound man to make our soundscape.
Mm,
We try to emulate what it would be like to see a concert in the late 70s, early 80s. You know, and there was a different sound emphasis back then where, you know, where every instrument was important.
right.
Whereas nowadays, when you go to a concert, I mean, if you can hear anything besides the bass drum, you're lucky.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. Yeah. And even with, like, I know earlier you were talking about iTunes. I mean, a lot of those tunes are compressed. They're meant for like earbuds, not for, you know, car stereos or, you know, stereos like that you would have in your home.
It's true.
Yeah. I mean, it's just really loud and it's like, it's kind of distorted. You know, when you try to play it in something else other than, you know, the little earbuds or whatever.
Yeah, interestingly enough, I'm going to digress a little bit.
Yeah.
So the Washington Post is doing an article on Heart, and they interviewed me for it,
Hmm.
and they interviewed, you know, other members of Heart
Right.
from the past too. But this guy, his name is Jeff. He did an article on the guy he built the most incredible stereo in the world in his house. And, you know, he has a record player and he has those speakers and amps. So he's an audiophile beyond all audiophiles. I'd love to hear that someday.
Yeah. Yeah. No kidding. Wow. So last thing before I cut you loose, do you have a Spinal Tap-esque story? I'm
Well,
sure you do.
Okay, well, so when we were younger and Spinal Tap first came out,
Right.
our you know, a couple of the band members watched it and we looked at it like, is this a comedy? Because it's really,
Right.
it's
Pretty
reality.
eerie, huh?
Yeah.
Nice. Is there a particular something that happened to you either on stage, off stage that stands out for you?
Well, off stage, one time, so we used to have a private plane, and so we get on the private plane and we land, and then we cook, you know, taxi over to where they parked it, and I was digging around in my bag for something or trying to find something or get it, whatever, and everybody else left, and they locked the plane, and I was stuck in the plane, and as they were driving out, they realized I wasn't there, but
Jeez.
they were kind of fun.
Nice. Thank you so much, man. I look forward to seeing you guys in a couple weeks.